Hey everyone, Rascal here.
And Mama, welcome to our channel Paws On Animation and our Paws On Manga segment.
And today we're covering Jujutsu Kaisen 0, the manga.
Yes, and this manga serves both as a prequel to the main Jujutsu Kaisen series, as it follows Yuta Okkotsu, a high schooler who has a cursed spirit attached to him, and he rolls at Jujutsu High in order to get help. But he ends up becoming the target of Geto. Yes, that's what I said, because I don't know which one is correct. Who wants to use the curse for himself. But
before we start, be sure to like, subscribe, and notification updates on future podcasts and we'll pause videos.
Yes, and don't be a high school school.
Right.
So, this one is one you yet again make sure that we got and you let me know about, because I had no idea there was a 0, a prequel to Jujutsu Kaisen.
Yes, and actually ended up getting it from the library because...
But now you own it.
Right, the months later, yeah. And we knew about the movie, but we didn't know there was a prequel manga. We had actually started watching the anime, started reading the manga. We didn't know there was a prequel. So went and got it immediately and probably read about 4 times now. Mm-hmm. And it was such an engaging story that it works as prequel to the main story or just its own story. Mm-hmm. It works as either one because you don't really get the other 3 students. It takes place a year or 2 before they show up. Mm-hmm. You still have Gojo, you still have Nanami, who they added in the movie, and a couple other characters, but for the most part stays on the second years who were first years in here.
Right. So the back of the manga says, Yuta Okkotsu is a nervous high school student who is suffering from a serious problem. His childhood friend Rika has turned into a curse and won't leave him alone. Might as well say his childhood ship. Since Rika is no ordinary curse, his plight is noticed by Satoru Gojo, yes, a teacher at Jujutsu High, a school where fledgling exorcists learn how to combat curses. Gojo convinces Yuta to enroll, but can he learn enough in time to confront the curse that haunts him? And we also learn that they are distant relatives.
Yes, and then they never bring it up again. So, yeah, for this book, you know, with the movie, you've already, most likely have seen our podcast back on last year's Spooktober podcast, where we cover the movie along with the first season of the anime, yes. And we cover the regular manga series this year. So it only was fair to cover the original prequel as well too.
Absolutely.
And it really stays pretty much 1-to-1 with the manga. The only thing I think was added extra, I think, was maybe a couple extra fight scenes for characters that weren't in the manga, and they gave them some spotlight in the movie.
And the drawings inside the book are really spot on to the anime as well.
Right.
Except for you get the color in the anime, and it's a little more graphic looking because of the colors, and you can see the blood.
Right.
And you can see all the different...
And here it's just ink.
Right. And you can see all the different colors that come into play that you don't see in the manga because
right.
It's black and white.
Right.
And Yuta's expressions are, I would say, they are more dramatic in the manga
right.
than they are in the anime.
Right. And because it's funny, because I actually remember when we first saw the movie, and you just kind of feeling bad for him, and then you feel more worse for him in here, and it's like, this movie should be called Yuta needing therapy for like 2 hours, because it's like he doesn't get a break, he's constantly in trouble, constantly in danger, it's like he wants to go home. That's not, I don't know, like, he needs a hug or something, he's always going through crap the whole time.
But hey, he gets monkey in here.
Right. Right, because everyone ships them. Sylveon, everyone ships them.
And there's no chance with Rika because
gone, right? Yeah. And you see how she obsessive she
like
was.
A different version of Kikyo, where she wouldn't go away in Inuyasha.
Right.
She never went away. Even in Yashahime, she didn't go away.
Right. It's like, please stop.
But at least in here, Rika goes away.
Right. And then, and then you have like I said, if you've seen the movie, the manga.
If you're a Kikyo fan, I'm sorry.
Right. And like I said, if you've seen the movie, it's 1-to-1 with the manga. Mm-hmm. And like I said, we just read the manga version. We wanted to see how it is first, is know if they made any changes. And really, they didn't. They added some new scenes, but that's it. They really didn't change anything out of here. And you really don't have to, because the story's so fleshed out and it's thick that it supports itself as its own story. Even if you never watched the rest of the other series, this works just fine if you just saw this on its own.
Very true.
And when he transfers here, like I said, out the gate you have the trouble with Rika, so much that they almost try to kill him on the spot because she's so intense. And one thing I end up laughing at when it starts is that it has the three of them with Maki, Unomaki, and Panda, and they're talking about and they talking about, oh, I got a new student, you hear the rumors, so you know how that goes. They got lots of rumors in Japan. And one thing that being kind of funny to me is that when it happens, it's like, Maki's like, oh, so we're getting another student or classmate. I won't pay him any attention. You're like, okay. Then again, later on, she's like, there's no chance of being nice to him. And they say nothing. I'm giving the sergeant. He's like, why do you keep talking about him? He's not, like, are you saying something? And I'm laughing like, okay, she was already on a thing before she even saw him. Like, it's not like she was excited someone else was coming in and she didn't want to say it. It's like, if you're going to say all that, stop talking about it. Because they're just sounding like, why do you keep bringing it up? We already talked about it.
Oh my gosh. So what I really have to say, the best thing about this book, it's really well written. And we forgot to mention it's written by Geto Okkotsu.
Right, it's not another person in charge.
Right. And that's one good thing. So the two good things. And another one is so well written. It's concise. And as you say, you don't even have to read the rest of the manga. You only have to see the movie. It's so well written that it's its own story.
Right.
And that you feel satisfied when you finish reading the book.
Right.
And you don't feel like you're missing out on anything. You actually feel like, oh my gosh, okay, this makes sense. I know where this person came from. I know who this person is. Oh, so this was the group before them. And it's just really well done.
Right.
And you don't find that with a lot of these prequels or even these extra books like the one they have that's written for them.
The light novels.
Yeah, it's just bad. I'm sorry.
But that's something we're definitely going to cover.
Grateful that Okkotsu wrote this because it continues to be exceptionally written and entertaining and well thought out, fleshed out characters, and you get to know Yuta and you feel like you've known him already, even though you didn't know who he was.
Right.
He was mentioned. And then later on, you had a scene later in the manga where the rest of like Nobara and Yuji get to meet him. But in here, you feel like you already know him.
Right.
Even though you just learned who he was
right.
in this book,
and
the volume.
Right. And in the way they had in the anime, if it's like you've never read the manga and you're just seeing it for the first time, they kept building up to him showing up. Even though it was before they meet him, it was sort of like a really clever way of marketing where if you read it, you probably read 0, made a few issues, then 0, then kept going. You already know he's coming in. But the anime built it up like this guy's coming in, you know how strong he is, you see all glimpses of him, and then they would build up to the 0 movie. So I actually built up hype because for the ones who never read, they were anime onlys, they were going to get to see a new character, and it made for like you've never seen him before. So it was actually really clever marketing with that. So either way, you're surprised to see him.
And so exciting that in the Shibuya arc that is beginning, we will actually get to see him animated now outside of the 0 movie.
Right, and he'll look really different because he looks one way in here and you just kind of get used to it. Right. And then, you know, by the end, he looks a little different, like the hair is down all of a sudden. I don't know what happened, it's just hair is down. Then it gets to season 2, you know what's coming in, it just looks like, what happened to you? He looks actually scary.
And I guess we should
like, what happened?
Since we learned that they were distant relatives, that he has to be powerful.
Right.
He's Gojo's cousin.
Right. He just looked, and I guess he matched that because you know how Gojo looked. I guess that was sort of his opposite in his look because he's got black hair, he's got white hair, he looks one way, he looks another way. He looks actually scary to look at. Actually threw me off for several volumes because it was like, what happened to him?
But online, a lot of people confuse him with Mega.
Right, and it happened so much that the author went and put in this page where he drew Megami and Yuta and said they're not the same people. And then people kept thinking Inumaki, and they're the same person, said they're not the same person. Oh yes, another thing. In here they also have
tuna mayo.
Yeah, tuna mayo. They also have in here where he branches off and teams up with at least 2 out of 3 of the students. He never teams up with Panda, and Panda gets upset with the author. He said, I thought I was going to have a chapter. He said, I'm sorry, I forgot. And he teams up with Maki, and she just starts berating him all the time, which in anime means she likes him a lot, which means she must really like him because she never stopped picking on him for months on end. And then in the second half, you have him team up with Inumaki, which ended up being probably, I think, one of your favorite scenes when it got animated. And he actually got to know 2 out of 3 of them. Panda, they just kind of just put to the side because you weren't supposed to know much about him, I guess, until you watched the main series.
Right.
But they had him grow with all 3 characters, and then even had a bit of a time skip after one of the missions was over. So he kept growing and knowing them, and they all became closer as well. And I like everyone had growth and development, got used to him, he got used to them, and it all accumulated into Geto showing up towards the end and wanting to use Rika, and it's a really intense, explosive fight scene that gets even better when you see it animated.
Definitely. And I was thinking about that because in the beginning, they don't realize how powerful he is.
Right.
They don't realize that he is the curse. He's the source of the curse. If you haven't seen 0, sorry. And you were thinking it was Rika, and then you learn it's him.
Yeah, I was like,
she can't leave. She can't go away. And why she's so intense, and it's been all these years, and he's been keeping her here.
Right, and he never realized that guild was keeping her there all these years later.
So think about it. Geto definitely wanted that power because he's already really powerful. And he's like, well, I can imagine what I could do with that.
Right.
And he wants to take it from him, and we know how that's going to end up, so that can't happen.
Right. So it's just a really great manga volume. It works well if you read it with the series, before the series, in the middle of it. You never read it. It can just be a standalone. It works no matter how you see it or how you read it. You could never read the rest of the series.
Absolutely.
It'll still work on its own like a one shot.
Absolutely.
It works so well. Like I said, read it 4 times now. Because it's just such a really great story, really great characters, knowing the characters even more now than you did in the main series. And then one you know is going to come up later on in the main series or in the main anime.
And this is the perfect time to rewatch the movie again. It's Spooktober, so I'm looking forward to watching 0 again.
Right.
And enjoying it again.
Right.
It's
They
really
just
a great movie.
Right. Plus they just made Yuta, I don't know if it was intentional now, why he was adorable in here and all this garbage was happening. It's like, that shouldn't be working.
Sylvia.
So if you haven't already, subscribe for updates to make the videos of your favorite anime series, anime shows, and all things animation.
Absolutely. And if you've read Jujutsu Kaisen 0, the prequel manga volume, let us know in the comments below. If you haven't and you're a JJK fan and you're thinking you don't need to because you've seen the movie, there are some things in the manga that aren't in the movie, and it's just a great read just so you can truly increase and get the full JJK experience. It's worth the read.
Right.
So come back and let us know what you think as well. And thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate your support. We're so happy you joined us for Spooktober. This is the first of 31 days of podcasts, reviews, and so much more.
Right. So thank you so much for watching. I'm Mask Entertainment.
And Mom Entertainment.
Have a toontastic day.
Peace.